Probably the shortest video I'll ever make. $50 million to charity or $1 million to you? Really simple question, though I don't know. It's kind of hard to answer. I feel like a lot of people make the point in the video that $50 million to charity could just end up being misappropriated and you wouldn't really know where it's going, which charity it's going to. Maybe it goes to something that you don't believe in, or maybe it just gets eaten up in like administration costs. But at the same time, even if 90% of it goes into administration costs, that will still be $5 million being used to help other people, which is way more than $1 million to you personally. So it's a tough question. Hopefully the people being interviewed can shed some light on the appropriate response.
$50 million to charity or $1 million to you?
$50 million to charity.
Why?
To know that I sent a lot more to someone who just needs it and deserves it probably more than me makes me feel a lot better than taking the million.
First lady doing the noble thing, of course, giving away the 50 million. I don't know if that's what I do. I feel like it's what I would do. But you know, think about it. If you get the $1 million, you could potentially use that million to make even more money, and then you can down the line donate 50 million, or down the line donate some different amount that you make sure is going to be appropriated correctly. To be fair, it probably will not happen, but you know, at least we can think about it.
Because I already have enough for me.
Okay, now big baller, shot caller.
Well,
Hey!
no, because life is everything.
Yeah,
Life is everything.
You smell good too.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay.
The guy says he has everything he needs. That's really cool. He doesn't need the million. It's a good idea to not be so caught up in money and stuff like that. He says life's everything. I'm not sure if he means that donating the money will help people live better lives and that's more important than his getting $1 million, or if he means that he has enough money for his life and being content with life is more important than money. Either way, those are pretty good points. I admire that about him. But you know, yeah, it's not a bad idea to get the million. You gotta be honest. I'm not being convinced so far to donate it, and he smells good, so he probably knows what he's talking about.
To me.
To me?
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Wait, say again the question?
She's being real. Just be real. If you think you'd rather get the money, just say that. It's nothing wrong with that. Better, you know, it's just fair to say. Just say it. Just say it if you'd rather get the million.
I think lots of millionaires already give donations and we don't know exactly where it's going to.
That is a great point.
And you know, I mean, it's basically charity. I'm broke.
She goes on to say lots of millionaires already give donations, which is true. Sometimes it can feel like so many people are always and constantly giving donations that it won't make that much of a difference to give more donations, but you know, it always does, so long as it's being used properly. There's always some issue going around in the world that needs some intervention and some help from regular people and even people who have 50 million apparently, that'll change things. I don't know though, it really does feel like sometimes all this donated money isn't making too much of a difference, but you know, I'm sure there's resources that you can watch and observe to change your mind about that. And if I just did that, I'd understand what's going on, at least more of what's going on. And I'm sure donations help a ton of people. So I don't really like that point that, oh, people are donating anyways, so what's $50 million? Nobody's gonna benefit. Yeah, they will. She says she's broke, so she's a charity. You know, that's also not a point that I agree with very much, because this looks like a first world country, and she just looks like she's in a good position to make money. She's probably in a good position to polish up her life, make better financial decisions, make better career decisions, and make a lot of money if she's not making a lot of money already. And even if she can't do that now, she's got great potential for doing that in the next 5 to 10 years. Whereas there's a pretty good chance that the money will be donated to people who don't have that opportunity, people who are in war-torn countries who have no chance to polish up their lives and make it better in 5 to 10 years. So donations are overall a good thing, and you know, it's obviously a joke that you would compare yourself to charity. The guy who made this video with Daryl, I think is what his name is, he's like he compares himself to charity all the time in this clip. I'm excluding his thing because it's obviously fake and staged, and that's how his thing is, and I want to focus on the real interviews in this case. But yeah, obviously you're not a charity, especially with the privileges you have. I'd like to see though what charities the money is going to, and that she's the first person to raise the point that you don't know where the money's going. You don't know where the money's going, A, in that you don't know which charity it's going to, and B, you don't know how the money will be used, which is big. It might go to some charity of people who are already privileged enough that they might not need the charity long term, or again, it might go to some cause that you don't believe in, like it might go to PETA, the animal rights agency or whatever they're called, which actually kills a ton of animals. So you know, it might feel like a waste. I'd call it a waste if I donated $50 million and it all went to PETA or PETA, I don't know how you say it, and they just kill a bunch of animals. That's pretty annoying, you know, and the founder like hates people or something like that. I don't want to donate to that. So if you don't have choice, if I don't have a choice of where the money is going, and I have no idea where the money is is going. I think I'd rather get the million for sure. If I did have a choice, then it would be a harder decision to be selfish and take the million. I still might make it overall, but still at least I could choose. But probably if it's going to like starving kids in Africa and war-torn countries, and you can be sure that the governments of the countries that are at war will allow the aid to reach the people who need it on both sides, then maybe I'll do that. Or just some poverty-stricken country that can't really do much, and I just build farms so that people are in employ and don't starve to death. I might do that too, because 50 million can go a long way and it'll help a lot of people, more than just me. I'd love the million.
100% charity.
Why charity?
Just give to others. It will come back eventually if it's meant to be.
People have this idea that money will come back if you give it away, and it's a good idea, to be honest. It's a biblical idea. The Bible says something. Okay, I just gotta check it out. Let me Google it. 2 Corinthians 6-7. Remember, a stingy planter gets a stingy crop, a lavish planter gets a lavish crop. Other versions just say that whoever sows sparingly reaps sparingly. There's people who give little and get little, and there's people who give a lot and get a lot. And if you read the book Give and Take, it kind of says a similar thing. So it's a pretty good principle that if you give a lot and if you're a giving kind of person, that kind of thing will have a trickle-down effect in other areas of your life, and you end up receiving more than you give. Even just giving away $50 million is a thing that can be very endearing to others. It could make you famous that you did that, and that can build up goodwill. You can get an audience, a fan base over that kind of a thing.
1 million to me, I'm sorry.
Just to myself, 1 million.
Why?
Because I'm gonna be real.
Why?
I deserve it.
The other people are more confident, more brazen, more, dare I say, smug about it. They're saying, the first guy is just chill. He's like, yeah, 1 million to me. I'm just gonna be honest. I respect that. Just be honest sometimes. I respect it to a level, to a degree. I, obviously respect the lady who said she'll give it away. It'll come back more. But like, his honesty is something that's respectable in its own right. She says $1 million to me. Fair. Why? She says she deserves it. Well, I don't know what she's done to deserve $1 million. The people who deserve $1 million are typically the people who make $1 million. There's few real ways to deserve a huge amount of money like $1 million, except going through the hard work and effort it takes to finally earn it, and the failure that comes again and again to finally earn it. Obviously, there's people who do it through illegitimate means, through theft. We got Nancy Pelosi with, what do you call that? Insider trading. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done my research. It just really looks like it. Coffeezilla. #Coffeezilla. But again, at the end of the day, it's a weird thing to me to hear someone say they deserve something that they don't really have much of a concept of understanding how to get. Because it's kind of like the Dunning-Kruger effect. You might think $1 million, comes to people who do this or who do that because you don't know enough about what it takes to make $1 million. You learn more about what it takes. You realize you don't really know that much about how hard it is to make $1 million and what the people who actually deserve it have to go through to get it. And maybe if you knew all that, you'd be more understanding that, yeah, this is a pretty tough thing. I might not deserve it by just being a human being, which is fair. I'm not trying to talk about any feminist hate that women deserve the world. I'm not really talking about that. I believe in human rights, obviously. Everyone should have certain things. I don't think everyone should have $1 million for no reason. I think the people who get $1 million should be people who earn it. And if you want to talk about people who should have the money, it's people who are willing to spend it, at least not in bad ways. I don't mind people splurging $1 million if they earned it. It's not a good thing, but like, you earned it. Nobody can take that away from you. If people want it, I really do get so hung up over people telling millionaires how to spend their money, especially people who donate, like hating on The Rock and Oprah when they donated like $5 million to help Hawaii or something, and they were calling for more donations. People are so mad. Like, if you want to have an opinion and a say on how millions of dollars get spent, you should go out and make millions of dollars. If you don't do that, then don't talk about it. You haven't earned that either. Unless they refine the conditions for this money, then it's the $1 million for sure. Well, definitely not the shortest video I've ever done. Comment what you would do with this offer. I bet most people would take the $1 million. I think a lot of people will say they would do 50, but in real life would take the $1 million. Either way, comment, like, subscribe. Bye.
That's all.
Okay, thank you.
So, when are we going to get the money?